Hey guys, you've probably seen this video floating around, right? Oh shit, wrong video. This video floating around last month it was posted, actually. We're not talking about that video. Well, not fully. We're gonna talk about something the video kind of caused. Well, not caused, because I don't want to blame her for it. But we're just gonna be talking about the subject matter of the video, which was male VTubers. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Wandering Edge. Hello, welcome to my video. I'm been a gaming streamer, if you don't know me, which most people don't. But I've been a gaming streamer for about 9 years on Twitch. I've been uploading VODs onto YouTube since 2019. And I make a lot of short form content as well. Now, we're going to be talking about that video because unfortunately, a lot of people since that video was posted, even up till yesterday, have just been posting some, you know, it's just been, I figured I'd talk about what's going on. Now, because I'm me, and I have no idea what footage to put here, I'm just going to be playing Pokemon the whole time. So, enjoy the Pokemon gameplay, and I guess listen to what I have to say, or don't, just enjoy the gameplay, or don't even watch it, it's up to you, really. But, I'm going to play some Pokemon, we're going to be talking about this. Now, first we're going to just cover the basics here. What is a male VTuber? So, you'll probably hear the term VTuber. Most people will tell you that VTuber obviously just means a person who streams the anime avatar, virtual avatar. But it also refers to the model itself. So people won't say VTuber model, for example. They'll just say your VTuber, which refers to your model. So male VTuber just refers to a person who uses a male model. So I'm a male VTuber because I have a male model. For people who use for male streamers, so the IRL person's a male, who uses a female model, there is a term for it. There's a Japanese term for it. There is no English term for it. And so because of that, they just kind of got lumped in, but 90% of the time when someone says male VTuber, they're referring to some guy like me who uses a male model and is a male in real life. That's usually what it refers to. Now, I'm not going to be talking about too much about the differences between, like, you know, well, like I said, we'll get into it. But that's what a male VTuber is. So 90% of the time, and for this video, male VTuber referred to a person using a male model and is a male in real life. Now, obviously, as many people will tell you, why don't people just say female VTuber, male VTuber? You know, the expectancy is just that if you say VTuber, it's a female model. That's just kind of the expectancy that's always been like the meme, you know, oh, you're a guy using a female model. But that's what it is. Now, we're going to start this off by talking about, obviously, the part of the video at the start where she talks about if you're a male VTuber, it's going to be 1,000,000 times harder, or 3 times harder, or whatever she says, to grow. And a lot of people have taken, you know, upset with that because, you know, obviously a lot of people are struggling to grow as streamers. Hell, like I said, I've been a streamer of 9 years and I'm still down here with everybody else. And so it's caused a lot of fighting with people wondering, you know, oh, well, being a female VTuber is not hard. There's a lot of stuff going around. And, well, I'm just going to talk, if you want to know the truth, we're going to talk objectively here, right? The first year into VTubing, so I started VTubing as a VTuber in August of 2020. In 2021, I spent a week using a female model. I'll have it up on screen. I spent a week using a female model because I wanted to test that theory. Is it easier to grow an audience as a female VTuber than a male VTuber? And the answer was yes. For that entire week, from day one, because I worked night at the time, so I was able to stream every day for at least 3 hours. From day one to the final day, so Sunday to Saturday, I had an average viewer on Sunday of 3, which is the first day, and every other day I had an average of 5. Now, to put it in perspective, I have never had an average of 3 to 5, and this is around the same time as September of 2021. I have never, both prior to, aside from when I got boosted to affiliate by some friends, I had never had a average viewership above 1. Just to put that into perspective here, how important that is. And then after that week, when I made my new male model, I lost all those viewers. And it wasn't all like new people. 2 of them that were there all week were I'm an idiot, sorry. Were returning viewers. These are people who had followed me back when I would like just started, when I didn't even have a face cam yet. So the conclusion, we're gonna go just off that data. I'm sure there are a whole bunch of people that could probably have a whole bunch of different experiences, but off that data alone, Yes. The answer is yes. If you're a female using a female VTuber model, people will show up more likely. Note that I said show up. And this is where a lot of the fighting has been happening. Because there's been a lot of... I don't know the Japanese term for it. I'll have it up on screen, hopefully, if I can find it. But a lot of male streamers using VTuber models have gotten involved. And a lot of them have been kind of saying like, my viewers come from me. Alright, my viewers stay from me. That's great. I'm not trying to diminish that. But the thing is, when you use a female model, people will show up for the female model because, well, you know, they got physics. They've got the physics to keep the attention. And, you know, especially if you've got a big model with a big old chest, big old cleavage, yes, dudes will show up. And the importance of that is not, even if those people leave, even if those people say, nah, screw it, I'm tired of this guy, he's boring. The fact that they showed up, and you now have 5 people in your category streaming. At the time I streamed Fortnite, so that's probably why I didn't increase in growth exponentially like that, because it's just Fortnite, so there's so many people streaming Fortnite back in 2021. So, but when you have, like, for example, if I'm playing Monster Wilds and I have 5 people in chat, that puts me much higher on the algorithm, puts you much higher to be seen by people. So just having those people show up, because I had a female VTuber model, if I just kept using that female VTuber model, I probably could have had 15 average viewers by now. That's just reality. I'm not trying to hurt on people's feelings. I'm not trying to diminish your growth as a streamer because you used a female model. I'm just telling you this is the experiment I did, this is the results, this is how it works. That's it. Now, unfortunately, if you also know about being a male VTuber model, if you're on Twitter, you know there's a bit of the cycle of male VTubers on Twitter. If you don't know, every month or so, there will almost always be a tweet by a streamer that says something along the lines of, male VTubers deserve support. We should support more VTubers. Just like how you'll see it with small VTubers. And unfortunately, this always results in, it's always, almost always, just, you know, it's just bait. It's just engagement bait. It's just engagement bait all the time. It always happens. Every month or so, a bunch of people come out, a bunch of small streamers come out, and they talk about, oh man, we gotta support more male VTubers, you know, because they're so... It sucks. It really sucks, because a lot of the time, I used to fall for it all the time, and it makes you think that, yo, I'm gonna make friends. People are gonna want to talk to me. It never happens. It just never happens. Most of those friendships won't stay. They won't follow you back. They won't support you back. And it sucks. It happens all the time. And then usually after that time comes the bounce back. Where now, all of a sudden, you're a male VTuber and you wake up to find a whole bunch of hate on your timeline for male VTubers. Them just talking shit. You know, them just dropping bombs. And it sucks. And that is the cycle of male VTubers. That every month and a half, every month to month and a half, you're gonna get the engagement baiters that are here for you, that want you to drop your PNG and drop your link, and they'll follow and raid you, and they never do, and that sucks. That really sucks, you know. And you'll get the people who say, oh, and even, you know, bigger streamers will say, you know, oh, we're gonna do a showcase, VTuber showcase model, and everyone's okay, and you'll drop your model, and you're male, and everyone else will drop their model, and then 90% of the entries that get showcased are female, and then you're the one male. If you're lucky, you're the one male that gets showed off. And I can't really harp on people for that, you know. There are good designs all around. You can't really harp on people say, oh, well, the girls are getting picked. But unfortunately, it does result in people do usually get more attracted to the female models, and as a result, they usually get featured on stuff more. Now, the other thing that has been kind of popping up, and this is kind of why I'm making this video, is that I've been seeing a lot of people. In fact, just yesterday even, I saw a person post online, and you see a lot of people, and remember, like, as I mentioned just now, you get a lot of hate eventually. People just decide, no, I hate you now. Well, I've been seeing a lot of people be like, oh, and this is the big reason I made this video, is I saw so many people going, oh, you know what? If you're not growing as a male VTuber, it's because you're boring. It's because you're unentertaining. And I think that's just such a stupid thing, and I want people to just stop listening to those people. If you follow someone that says that, and you just decide, you know what, I say, honestly, just ignore it. Don't even just ignore it. Maybe just unfollow them if you have to. If you don't mind the content, there's someone you just kind of follow to support, and now you're done with supporting them, just unfollow them. Because you know what? It's such a stupid remark, and this is why I made this video to talk about this, is because you have these people that are sitting there, and obviously these are big streamers. These are not small streamers. These are big to mid-sized streamers that will sit there and say, oh, are you not growing? It's not because you're a guy, it's because you're boring. And this is a general statement. You could say that to anybody. But again, a lot of this time this props up in regards to, and they will say male VTuber in the video, and I'm not going to name anybody. Like I said, I'm not trying to name anybody. I don't want them coming after me, or I would name them. But they'll say, oh, it's because you're boring. You're unentertaining. You know, you got to find your niche. And I hate that term so much. You have to find your niche. What does that even mean? Can anyone here name a niche that isn't broken into? A niche you could find? I can't. I can't think of anything I could do that would be a niche that isn't already has big people in it, right? I could 3D modeling. I could 3D model on stream. I could do that, but there are big 3D modelers on Twitch. There are big Pokemon streamers on Twitch. There are big Monster Hunter streamers on Twitch. There are big singers on Twitch, sports players on Twitch. There are woodworkers on Twitch. There's everything on Twitch. Every niche is populated. I'm sure there are niches that are less populated, but every niche is populated. So I hate when people say that. I was like, you just gotta find your niche. You didn't find your niche, right? And I'm gonna get riled up here when I talk about this in a second. But they didn't find their niche. They're gaming streamers, or they're react streamers, but they're telling you to find your niche, even though they're in a niche that's extremely popular. And then they have the gall to tell you that you're boring and unentertaining, implying that they aren't boring and entertaining. That's not true. And that they worked hard. Well, first of all, saying to other people, well, I was hardworking, you gotta work hard. Do you think people aren't working hard? People are working hard. Everyone's working hard. I'm working hard. I like to think I'm working hard. Lots of people are working hard. Some people can't work as hard as others because they have other issues to deal with. And some people just don't have that interest to work in certain things. Some people, I don't have, big, like ADHD editing where I have constant movement on my screen. I don't really like that editing, so I don't use it, right? I'm the kind of guy, I'm like side monitor content, Keep me up on your side monitor and listen to me talk and play games and while you do whatever else, or maybe you watch someone else. That's okay. I'm okay with being the side monitor guy. That's perfectly fine with me. Fortunately, Twitch doesn't like their lookers, but I do. But they always say the same things. You're unentertaining, you're unentertaining, you're boring, and that's why you're not growing, and you didn't work hard. No. You didn't work hard. Many large streamers, and this is going to be a big call out, and I'm sure I'm probably going to get people mad at me, but that's okay. Many big streamers, especially the ones that say this stuff, they didn't work hard. The reality is they got lucky. Some big streamer, male or female, doesn't matter. Some big streamer found them, saw them within the wave of algorithm, because there's so many people who are streaming right now. Nowadays, they found them within the wave, and maybe they like their design or their concept, or maybe they just like their overlay or their voice. Because let's be honest, we don't all have the best voice. My voice sucks. And they said, oh, this guy's great. Let's give him a big shout out, and I'm gonna feature his clip on my stream, and they're gonna grow. I mean, Nags, if you know Nags, this is a bit of a COD. Don't hate the Nags. Nags is great. Nags, for example, he used to do VTuber deep dives, and he used to show off a whole bunch of VTubers. And obviously, those VTubers, many of them are now decently sized VTubers now, because he featured them on his stream. Why wouldn't they become big streamers? So when people say things like, oh, it's because you worked hard, this is such a luck-based industry. Streaming and content creation as a whole, even these YouTube videos, like Chacha, your mom said, make long-term VTubers, but even YouTube's videos. But even then, there's no guarantee that people will come watch those videos, because at the end of the day, people have to watch your video. And this kind of goes back to the point of this thing, you're boring and unentertaining, and that's stupid. It's such a stupid thing to say, because how do you know I'm boring and unentertaining? You don't watch my content. Have you ever watched my content? Have any of these people posting shorts right now, posting shorts on YouTube and TikTok and Twitter and saying, oh, you're not growing because you're boring. It's not because you're a guy. You're just a boring, unentertaining streamer. Have any of these people watched my content? Have they watched your content? Have they watched anyone else's content? Who are they making this claim from? What are they making this claim based off? I would never tell someone, hey, you're boring. Because I think that's idiotic. I think that's completely foolish. I would never tell someone they're boring until I've at least sat down and watched their content, because how can I say they're boring if I don't watch? This is like saying I don't like Arby's I've never had Arby's. How would I know what Arby's tastes like? You know? And that's the problem. Is that everyone just wants to be like, oh, well, it's because you're boring. No, that's just a cop-out answer because you don't know why you got big and you're insecure. And that's kind of the big thing I want to talk about. I'm gonna be real here with you guys for a minute in that you're not boring. You're not unentertaining. You're not, you know, you're working hard. You're doing the things that people are telling you to do. You're listening to their advice. You're being yourself. You're making your content. You're posting the shorts. You're streaming pretty consistently, unless you have a full-time job like me and you can't, which is totally understandable. Most people understand. You're not boring and unentertaining. I bet you right now, you want to know why? You take all these big streamers, you put them in a room, you put them on a new account by themselves, you put a voice changer on them so no one knows it's them, and give them a completely new model. They're not going to grow. Doing the same thing they're doing, they're not going to get anywhere. You want to know why? Because they're not going to get lucky again. Because they're going to sit there, they're going to do the same thing they did before when they were small, and they're not going to get lucky. Because when they were small, a bunch of streamers found them and collabed with them, shouted them out, or just they got a lucky viral clip. And that's the reality of it. That is the reality of it. And it's an unfortunate reality. It's a hard pill to swallow on us to think that, hey, I'm just not getting lucky. And that's rough. That really sucks. Trust me. That does really suck. But it's just reality. And you are working hard. You're not boring. You're not unentertaining. It's just some guy telling you that guy has no idea what he's talking about. He's an insecure jerk. Anyone who posts any clip talking about saying you're boring because you're a male or you're not growing, they don't know anything. They're just some insecure guy who doesn't know what they're talking about, doesn't know how they grew, and they can't figure it out. So they're going to have to go to immediately just insulting you because they can't help you. And they don't want to help you. They got help. You could go back and find all their shout-outs and everything they've ever gotten. They got help from people. I've seen people get shouted out by aaaaand, and those same people have the balls to sit there and tell you that you're boring. That doesn't make any sense. You weren't entertaining until aaaaand found you. Are you entertaining because aaaaand told people you were? How does that make you entertaining? That makes her entertaining, not you. And that's the reality of it. You're not boring. You're not entertaining. You're just undiscovered. Anyways, guys, that'll be it for today. I just wanted to talk about this because it's so friggin' annoying to listen to all these people call you boring when you're not boring. And say you're not working hard when you aren't working hard. But yeah, like I said, guys, that'll be it for today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. Remember, I stream about 3 days a week. Every Sunday, we play Monster Hunter Wilds together until we find a better game. And yeah, anyways, guys, keep making content because you're not boring. And if you don't get there, that's okay. Even if you fail, at least you can say you tried your best. And no one can take that from you. I'll see you guys later, everybody.